Today, I'm gonna show you how quick and easy it is to make your own sandwich loaf, and you only need 5 ingredients. I'm using my stand mixer today because it is a lot faster. You can absolutely do this by hand. I've done it by hand plenty of times. First, you're gonna need 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Next, you're gonna need a half to a 4th cup of granulated sugar. I don't measure this precisely. I use my 1 cup measuring cup from the flour just to minimize the dishes and fill it. I mean, it's almost halfway full. Next, we're gonna add in our salt, about a tablespoon. About a tablespoon in. Last is gonna be your yeast, about 3/4 of a tablespoon. We have all of our dry ingredients in. I'm gonna put my dough hook on here and just mix those all together before I add in the water. I'm gonna go ahead and mix together the dry ingredients. Last, you're gonna add a 1.5 cups of warm water, and you do want it to be warm because this is what's gonna activate your yeast. Make sure you lock your mixer, turn it on, and let it mix. This is gonna slowly turn into a dough. I'm gonna let this mix and knead the dough for several minutes, probably somewhere around 5 to 8 minutes until it forms a nice dough ball that's stuck to itself and pulling away from the edges of the bowl. The kneading is really important for building the gluten structure of the bread, and that's what's gonna keep it from crumbling when you go to slice it.
You can see what it looks like starting out. Once it's done, notice it's a nice dough ball that's pulling away from the edges of the bowl.
Our dough is all mixed together. You're gonna cover this up and let it rise until it's at least doubled in size. For me, it's anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. Okay, you can see how much the dough has risen. So we are ready to shape it. Get a light layer of flour on your counter so that the dough doesn't stick. Go ahead and punch it down, dump it out onto the counter here to shape it. You're gonna start by just kneading the dough out a little bit. It should feel pretty soft and airy. You're just gonna wanna knead it for a couple of minutes by hand. This kneading is just gonna help build the gluten structure so that when you cut your bread, it has good structure and doesn't just crumble. You will be able to feel the dough start to kind of firm up under your hands. Once it firms up a little bit, you're gonna sit and let it rest for just a couple of minutes while you get your pan ready. I would go ahead and preheat your oven at this time too. You're gonna preheat to 350. I'm gonna let it set here and rest for a minute while I get my pan and oven ready. I've got my oven preheating and I've got my loaf pan here. I went ahead and greased it. So the next step is to shape it. Stretch it out here into like a rectangle shape, and then we're gonna roll it into a long loaf form and stick it in the pan. Are you helping me? And we're just gonna roll it up nice and tight into a log here. Then I tuck the ends under, stick it in the pan. It's gonna rise over the next hour or so before we bake it. Let it rise until it's about 1 inch above the pan. You can see how much this has risen. Normally I would let this rise a little bit more, but I'm in a bit of a time crunch, so I'm gonna go ahead and bake it. Your oven should be preheated to 350. You're gonna bake this for 30 minutes. 30 minutes in the oven, it looks great. So you're just gonna dump it out onto a cooling rack and let it cool before you slice it. Enjoy.